Okay, let's get into Xaku's abilities. On his build, I have Nourish as 1, and what that does is whenever an enemy attacks me, or I attack an enemy, it will give 1 viral. But the nice thing you can do is use Accuse, and then use Nourish, and it will give these guys Nourish, and then you shoot them, and it will send out a wave of viral. As you can see, they all get like 10 stacks of viral pretty quickly. And then you can just select that and instantly delete them. So that's Nourish. Now his next abilities is Gaze. If I use it on this guy here, every enemy in this aura, as a massive line, will have their armor and shield stripped of them. You need to have 200% strength for it, and it's just really nice and useful because with their armor stripped, we get the guns out, the guns melt them, compared to if we go over here, where they have their armor on, the guns do no damage. But with armor stripped, they melt them. So that is Gaze. Now, Defy, what this one does is just lifts them up in the air and does void damage. Now Accuse just mind controls them, and they're on your side and your guns won't attack them. It's a nice ability to have if you're playing solo. And you can have up to 2 enemies gazed at once. Alright, and now his guns, you know, they go off strength, and everything is paused by his fall. Also, with his guns, you want to say you're doing a long endurance mission and you get all the guns at level 100, and then you make it all the way through to like 300, you'll want to actually lose your guns and regain them, because the damage of the gun scales off of strength, but also off enemies' level. So you want to keep that in mind when you're playing long missions and you're like, oh, why aren't my guns doing that much? It's because you just need to lose those guns and get new ones, and then they'll do more damage. Okay guys, so this is the build. We have 125% duration. That gives us 31 seconds on our 4th, which is more than enough time. We have 50% efficiency, which doesn't matter because your ability is going to be paused, and we have prime flow, so we're going to be at like 600 energy, so that's fine. We have 280 range, which I believe is the max range you can get. I tried putting everything on there for range, and that's the highest I could get. Now, with 280%, you get 16 guns, and I think that's the highest you can go, unless you get a Fisher that buffs it, which doubles it. Now, we have 224% strength. 200% is needed to have your gaze be 100% damage reduction. Now, if you don't like having like that, and you just want to use your augment to get over 200, you can throw on Streamline or another mod like that to get the higher efficiency. But honestly, I prefer Transfortitude. It gives me the 200 straight off the bat. And I do have more augments, so I do end up with like 280% strength, which just gives me more damage on my guns. I have more efficiency just for extra duration. So this gives me about 160 duration. I think it's like 161% duration. So I basically have Streamline on without having it on. It's higher than Streamline actually. I got Cunning Drift for the extra range. That's all that's for. Energy Siphon doesn't really matter. I mean, you can have any mod you want on. I just have Siphon because I like it. But I guess something like Corrosive Projectile might be better. You don't really need Shield Gate with Xaku. Maybe you want maximum health increase. Something like that, or just still charge you using melee weapons. Which I probably should use since I use a glaive. But yeah, that's the build. So we have Profound Fortitude for strength, Blind Rage for strength, Prime Continuity for the duration, Prime Flow because it's just nice to have loads of energy, but you can swap this out for whatever you want if you feel like you don't need Prime Flow. It's just that the fourth costs like 125 or 150 energy per use. So every time you use your fourth, it's going to cost you a load. I'll go Reach obviously for range, Stretch for range, Intensify for extra strength. Overextended is needed. It does give you minus strength, but it gives you the 90% range. Now, with the arcanes, you can swap like efficiency out for energize or augment out for energize. It doesn't really matter what you use here. I just use these because they're nice to have. And yeah, that is the build.